Hi, thank you so much for tuning in to learn more about CARES Fox Cities. My name is Hillary Haskell, Executive Director of CARES. Recently, I sat down with Kayla Loans, a CARES facilitator, to talk about why and how we do the work we are so passionate about.
What are we going to talk about today?
We are going to talk about CARES Fox Cities.
And what exactly is CARES?
CARES stands for Community-Based Advocacy and Research for Equity in Schooling. We exist to uplift and validate the voices and experiences of students, family members, and staff to work together towards greater equity and belonging for everyone in our schools.
What problem is CARES trying to solve?
Across the Fox Cities, we see that graduation rates are different for different groups of people. So for example, if we look at racial groups, 68.8% of Black students and 75.4% of Hispanic students graduate within 4 years, whereas 89.3% of white students and 91.1% of Asian students graduate in 4 years. We're thinking about the Appleton Area School District in this case. Also, we can think about this economically, right? 73% of economically disadvantaged students, which includes working class white families, graduate within 4 years. CARES is here to say these differences aren't okay and we can do something about it.
So we have those statistics. How might we think about this problem?
Research from scholars in education and health suggests that an impactful way to address this issue is through community-based work. We know that schools can't do this work alone, right? Our teachers are doing as much as they can and they can't take on more problems. So we need to bring in more resources to help. Finding solutions with our students and families means including organizations and individuals outside of schools to help with this work.
What kind of research does CARES do?
We facilitate participatory action research, which supports building positive relationships across difference, encourages confidence and high achievement, and also impacts systemic change.
And how does this work?
Through the research, we bring students, teachers, and family members together to identify problems they face, opportunities they see for change, and things that are working or successes they've experienced. And they use this information to do research about themselves and our community. They define a topic that's important to them, and after the research process is completed, the findings show us ways we can change what we do and how we can work to make school better for everybody.
So you talked a little bit about successes. What successes have you personally witnessed within your role at CARES?
The action research process is really complex, I know, but it's awesome to see how students get invested in themselves and in each other. So in our first project, we brought together 6 students who are all immigrants from Africa. And they were all from different schools. They didn't all know each other super well at the beginning of this process. But by the end of it, they were really close friends. They were asking each other about their schoolwork, about their home lives. They were solving problems together that went beyond the work that we were doing. And they were telling stories about how they were more easily able to talk with their other peers, their non-African peers, and their teachers in school.
Wow, so you've just witnessed a lot of growth within students.
Yeah, it's a special opportunity.
So a little bit more about kind of the more finer details. How exactly does this work?
So in this kind of research, students, educators, and caregivers learn that they can achieve and succeed together, even when it's difficult. They are agents of change as they critically reflect on their school and are engaged in a process to make improvements that they have discovered themselves. This is a paid opportunity. It happens outside of the school hours, and it specifically impacts youth as it engages them in responsive and relevant ways that promote their own success. They work as a team to accomplish a difficult and rewarding project, and that increases their confidence and encourages them to expect continuous high academic achievement from themselves in the future.
And from those projects, what have you learned about so far?
Well, we have studied a variety of topics. The one that I mentioned earlier about how well students who are immigrants from Africa are set up to succeed in the Appleton high schools. We have learned about different aspects of racial injustices and the impact of curricular exclusion for specific student groups. There was also a group of students who really wanted to study how to grow more confidence in themselves in class and understand how to be better self-advocates.
And how do you know that you're done with the research? So what happens after the research is complete?
After the studies are completed, the researchers plan an action, and that action is something that impacts the idea that they studied. For example, for the students who focused on growing confidence in class, they presented their work to 5 different elementary and middle school classrooms to share their learning and work with younger students. Sometimes these actions can also result in systemic changes, like adding a counselor to a school or changing a transportation policy so more students have access to extracurricular activities.
And what programs does CARES have to do this work?
We have 4 different programs to make our work happen: a Student Research Institute and a facilitator training, which happen during the summer; institutional change cycles, which happen over the course of the school year; and sense-making discussions.
And what exactly are you working on now at CARES?
Right now, we are working on a study about biases and social identity, as well as a study about early childhood enrollment in special education and English learner programs.
Do you feel like there's anything else that we haven't touched on or anything else that you just want others to know?
I always just like to highlight that we partner with students and family members who are underserved or feel marginalized by our school systems. Our biggest hope is that we fulfill the promise to validate their experiences and support their ideas and dreams for themselves and our community.
And one last question before you go. Where is CARES doing this work?
We do the work here in the Fox Cities. Right now we're working in the Appleton and Oshkosh area school districts. And we're grateful to have received funding for this work through the Community Foundation of the Fox Valley, United Way, Fox Cities, the Appleton Education Foundation, the Canary Fund, and the Oshkosh Area School District.
So a lot of amazing partners that you're currently working with.
That's the beauty of the area that we live in.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and having this discussion with me. I'm very happy to know that we have people in our community who are actively doing the change that we need to see happen. So
I'm grateful to work with you.
oh.
Thanks. Thanks again for listening to our conversation. If you are interested in learning more, check out our website to read our research and join the CARES family, caresfoxcities.com.